Oh, goodness. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Polite as Fuck. Thanks for tuning in. We'll dive right into our 10 and 10. I'm actually really excited. It took us forever to think of one, but we're coming up with one. I love the idea of things being cults that obviously aren't really cults, so we made a list. And my first, my example to Erica was Starbucks, because I'm just like, that's a cult. Like, everything about it is a cult. It is a cult. And so we have a list. So that was my first example, but I can give another one. I wrote more. Hair salons or barbershops, those are cults. Like, if you work at a hair salon or you work at a barbershop, you're a part of a cult. Like, you walk in, or tattoo shops, I should add that on there. It just feels like you walk in and it's just like they're judging you, but not really judging you. And they all have this unspoken, I don't even need to explain it. It's a cult.
I think barbershops for sure. Yeah. Hair salons?
I get the same vibe.
I can see it. Yeah, that's a good one. I put Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
I just we're all just indoctrinated into this thing that is crazy, and I love the trucks driving around everywhere. I'm like, you guys are taking over the world, and it's scary.
Oh my god. Oh. I love that. I actually have, when we actually talk about our episode today, I'm coming back to Amazon, so that's good that you bring that up. My next one is Trader Joe's.
Oh my god,
that's a cult. I also can't explain it. It's just so culty, in, around, everything about it. I mean, I'm there, and I also have a bag. The special one, so.
the tote, the canvas tote. When I got on Instagram for a second, that was the only video that I saw, the one I sent to you.
I know. It's so random.
And then I immediately deleted
I know,
that.
I was like, you're back on. Nope, just to send you this. No.
But it was so funny because it's literally just chaos in there. And we still all go. Why do we go? I don't get it.
I don't know. I love that one.
Controversial, but I just put the military.
I was gonna put that too, but then I was like, eek. But I'm glad you said it, because I agree.
But yeah,
and we're allowed to say that from firsthand experience.
We've talked about it before, especially enlisted 18-year-old babies that are joining and don't know what they're doing with their life, and then they're trained a certain way, and you have this routine, and these are the only things you're allowed to do, otherwise you get kicked out, and it's crazy. So we don't need to say more, but that one's for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. My next one is the climbing community or the biker community. So sorry, but I'm just you're a cult.
No, it's so too much.
So bad.
I don't even feel, I'm not even a part of the biking community. I don't feel accepted into the community.
Truly, you have to get all of this equipment. It if you don't have the right stuff, you're looked down upon. It's the craziest fucking hours, climbing into the dead of night and then biking at 4:30 in the morning. I'm this is y'all are crazy.
Climbers for sure. That's funny because I put Pilates as my next
yes
one. And I've tried Pilates a few times. It's great, but I am not indoctrinated into that. And the people that do Pilates, that pay for Pilates,
oh my god, that's such a good one.
That is next level.
Yeah. And it's the equipment, when you are needing to be strapped in, that is so crazy. I've never taken a Pilates class, so I'm really just talking out of my ass, but I probably like it.
My abs have never been as sore as they have been after taking a Pilates class.
Well, I mean, the ladies, ew, I want to throw up.
The
ladies, the people that come up on my For You page, because I just follow a lot of athletic women, and a lot of them do Pilates, and I just see their abs and their arms, their shoulders, because they're constantly doing this. I mean, I get it, but I also just don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mall kiosks, if you work in the center, I think malls just in general now, but if you ever or have experience trying to be chauffeured into the mall kiosk.
Now. It's at Target.
Oh yeah, where we literally have to
I have to avoid the electronics section, otherwise they're gonna ask about our Wi-Fi.
And then if you ignore that, there's no nice way to do that. Like if you are walking on the street and it's one of those, this happens all the time, and it's always when I'm fucking late to work, where it's like, do you want to talk about your reproductive rights? And I'm like, no, like, sorry, I can't. I need to go make a living.
Yeah.
Or like all this stuff, and I'm like,
Nature Conservancy or the whatever
Wi-Fi people
the
or
Wi-Fi
actual
people.
cults, like religion. So definitely those people. Anybody that has to reel you in is just get away.
So uncomfortable. I hate it. I know you said Starbucks as your example, but I do think like coffee shops in general. Like I walk to get coffee and I'm like, this is like its own little cult. And there are some that I'm like, I'm not accepted here. I can't come to this coffee shop.
Yep. And
others where I'm like, you're judging me so hard. I'm sorry that I'm not as cool as you. I did get bangs. They're not micro bangs, but like...
I know exactly what kind of coffee shops you're talking about. Yeah, it's tough. My next one is real estate agents.
Oh my God.
I think real estate in general, I think, is so interesting. And then if you're a real estate, I don't know, it's just like, it's such a cult. I'm like, you guys, I don't know, I like it. It seems fun, but I just...
Yeah. My real estate agent, lovely woman, I'm the one that found every listing that I looked at. I would send them to her and say, I want to look at this place. And then she'd basically just like get the key so that we could go look at the place. Yeah. And I'm like, you just got, I don't even know, 15% of my payment on this home from getting the key out of the lockbox to show it to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I have a certificate.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to be growing up. I mean, we still are. But to have grown up in the time that we grew up of, like, before social media and then, like, watching it advance. Because I'm like, I remember my family buying a house and, like, that you had to go look through the listing in the like, pamphlet. And then all the, like, now it's, like, to find a realtor or even the people that I went to high school or college with that are real estate agents now, like, have their own TikTok and Instagram. And it has to be, like, immersive like that. And I'm just like, wow, I mean, it's just so different. It's so interesting.
It's crazy. Okay, my last one is also controversial, and I put Swifties.
Ooh, yes, so true.
I enjoy Taylor Swift. To consider yourself a Swiftie is a next level indoctrination that I will never reach. I will never be that much of a diehard, like literally die hard, for her. You love her so much. It's crazy. I have never seen anything like it. Yeah. And I've been listening to her a lot this year. I think just like Friends, the bachelorette party I was just on was like Taylor Swift themed. And she's great. I think she's cool. I'm just like, whoa.
To be that diehard for anything is honestly like should be studied. And then it's a person.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like
anytime you idolize a person, you will be disappointed. So I just never do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just also like, don't care so much.
No.
I don't know, but I agree. And those are great cults. Like that, I mean, I agree with all of these. I could do this over and over.
Yeah,
we'll do like a round two.
Now, quick to think of them.
I know. We'll have to do like another little like segment of it because it's so good. I see it all the time. And I like, you just know. You sense a vibe.
I am a part of the Amazon one. I do try not to order from them often, but sometimes you just gotta. I'm trying to think. And also, we grew up in the military. So, first-hand experience. And also, I love coffee shops.
I know. Oh, no, there's definitely cults that I'm a part of. Like Amazon. These are just more fun. I was listening to something and heard this phrase be used, and I can't, like, not think about it now, but of just when things are taking up space in your brain, like, don't allow, like, it's taking up real estate in your brain, and basically, like, what do you want your block or your boulevard to look like? And I don't know, I really liked that metaphor. If you guys don't know already, I'm a metaphor kind of gal. It's also that time that I'm going to start talking about collecting my nuts. So just get
every year,
just you wait. Anyway, so I was like talking with Erica. I'm like, I think right now just there's like so much like on my mind. And it's like, again, getting to that time of year where I'm just like, summer's done. I'm kind of like, it's that back to school feeling of like recollecting myself, maybe like looking at my goals, maybe just kind of like checking in. I'm like, how am I feeling? And so I just thought we would talk about it and just using the metaphor of like, this is the real estate in my brain. Anyway, but this is kind of going off of what you were just talking about, Amazon, and I can just dive into my first one because I feel like it's pretty like low level, where there's some that are like pretty high stress. But I have been on this like, I wouldn't even say like supernatural, like I'm not trying to go too, I mean I should, but like too out of the way. I'm just being a little bit more cognizant of like the stuff that I am wearing, like material, or like the products that I'm buying, like what's in it, and food and stuff like that. Like I think my sister is doing a lot of that, and so I'm like copying her, and people like make comments about certain products and things like that. So that has definitely been taking up a lot of real estate in my brain recently. And I am a part of the Amazon cult. So I get all of my products and everything off of Amazon, like literally anything and everything. And I think it ties into a little bit deeper of just like, I don't like leaving the house if it's just like absolutely not necessary. I don't want to have to go to Target or go to Walmart. So I'm like, it's just so much easier to go. It's a button away and it comes in 2 to 3 days. So I got all of these things, and it wasn't even a lot. I literally needed like a few cleaning supplies, and I wanted to get a few body products, like, yep, Pledge, wood cleaner. And got it off Amazon. And of course, because I live under a rock. Well, I don't know if you knew this anyways, but about the whole like counterfeit thing off Amazon. Apparently there's this whole documentary about it, but about how like you don't actually know what you're getting from Amazon. Like, sorry if you guys already know this, but I didn't know this. Like, I guess it makes sense because they buy it, like anybody can buy something and then label it, and they're getting that money from that product. Like I bought, for example, like the brand Elf is supposed to be pretty like cruelty free and non-toxic. So I bought a blush from them, but then like someone could have easily just made blush that's not really like Elf materials and then just labeled that, and then they got my money because Amazon doesn't have those like checks. Apparently it's well known.
I think you have to look for like who the seller is.
Yeah, well, I don't. Like I literally just find something and I click it in, and I know that is my own fault, but I think like this just now all of a sudden like is now like this one string of thought has led into this whole life change about like all I need to do to like everything. Like I don't want to buy anything off Amazon unless it's absolutely necessary. I like had this kick. I had to go to Target, and like then we started like it's this whole
scanning every product.
Yes, because it's like it's taken up so much, and I'm glad that it has, because it's something that I've been wanting to do. I think last time we talked about something similar, I mentioned to Erica and on the pod about how we wanted to do like reusable paper towels and things like that. So it's on my brain, but I'm just like, wow, this Amazon thing like really just took off, and now I'm like,
that's all you're thinking
that's
about?
all I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
yeah, I can't relate.
No, I feel like I go through phases where I get that way, and then I'm like, I can't keep up. Mm-hmm. Like literally when I was like, oh, I bought this shampoo, I heard it's good, and then you were like, I heard it's bad, and then we scanned it, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's not as good as this other one that's even better.
So
and I'm just like, my mentality at this current moment is like, I don't fucking care. But I think that's great to be inspired to want to have, because once you do start buying the products that you know are better, then you're just going to buy those.
Yeah.
But it's the research and the finding them and like throwing out what you have currently, and that's
so hard
commitment.
Yeah.
But if you have the real estate in your brain for it, then do it.
Well, I think it's so funny how it like all ties together, because I am also, another reason for Amazon is because I'm trying to do it like not super expensive. I'm really trying to be aware of like what I'm putting, like what I'm spending my money on. But I'm also like, I am trying to build confidence. These are some other things that are taking up real estate in my brain. And I think I'm like, I want to go the extra mile. Like, you know, in What We Said, how I don't know if they started this, but it's a great rule of like, if you do 2 out of the 3 things, you feel confident, and it's like face, hair, or outfit. And it's like, well, when I go to work, I have to wear the same outfit. So there's that. And like a lot of the times I have to have my hair up, And so I'm like, I want to be put together. Like I want to have,
jewelry and makeup or
yeah,
something.
exactly. And like, but I also want to have good products and I'm like taking care of myself because I also don't want to have like a breakout when I'm about to turn 30 fucking years old. You know what I'm saying? Like so this is all kind of like stringing along. It's just like this one, like, oh my lordy. Like, it feels like my real estate is now like a condominium now.
Condominium.
Anyway, that's some of my real estate.
I don't literally my main thing in my brain right now is really deep, so I'm sorry, but I'm taking us there now.
Let's do it. I'm ready for it.
I feel like the majority of my days, at least these past few weeks, have been related to time, and there's so much within like how I'm spending my time, what time I have left.
Ooh.
Like, it's just I feel like especially with my grandma passing away, I'm just thinking about like, what am I doing with my life? Yes, we've talked about that before, but just like even in my day to day, like I went on a little hike yesterday, and I'm like, I saw this old guy, and then I was like, well, I still be hiking when I'm that old, and how I'm almost 30, and then I'm like, 30 years from now, what is my body going to be like? How am I going to feel? And like, literally, this is my head and I can't make it stop. I can't. And then like when we were in Target the other day and that kid was crying and like there was
and I made the comment. Oh my
well,
God.
no, and I even said, it's like, I'm going through like, okay, what do I want my next 30 years of life to look like? And again, thinking about my grandma and how she had 5 kids and her kids had kids and a massive family and so many grandkids, and I'm like, do I want my life not to look at like hers because I don't want that many children, but like, do I want to have children? Do I want to have that when I'm old? I don't know. And if I do, what am I doing right now? And like, I just don't know how to stop it. And then at work, yeah.
This is so relatable. I think my big thing right now is like, ever since you said like, what is my purpose?
Oh no.
I have been struggling.
Shoot.
I just like, maybe less on the time thing. It happens every once in a while, but I have a good sense of like, push it away. Like, this is so silly, but I noticed a wrinkle and like, I tried to like cover it and it's like not a like something that I've ever been self-conscious about before, and now all of a sudden every time I look in the mirror it's all I can see and I'm like, it's only getting worse, and like I don't, anyway, that's a whole other thing, but I can normally just be like, whatever, but for me it's like, why have I not found something like that pays the bills that I'm also like excited to do? Like that is like my like pit, and like, but also I'm like so good at pushing it away because I'm like, I don't want to think about it, so I'm not thinking about it. I'm just like, it'll hit me every once in a while and then I do nothing about it because it's so stressful, and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna be here in my misery, and I don't even know. But an update is I scheduled therapy, so I'm hoping that will be helpful. I don't know, but I just like that, just like even just talking about it gives me like, I'm like sweating right now. I'm like getting anxiety about it because I'm just like, I don't know, and then I get like irritated when my family asks or when friends ask or anything. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still working, and I'm like, bro, what? Calm down. No one.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
It's kind of, not that things are more important than the other, but like, I kind of wish that I was more focused on the work piece. I think that the big thing for me is like relationship. Like in my mind, I'm just like, not that I need a partner, but I would love to have a partner in my life. And I think because I'm thinking so much about my life and like, what is it going to look like and what am I doing with it and where do I want to go? I'm like, who do I want to do this with? And what is that? What are they like? And what does that look like? And I like got on the apps for like a second and then people were messaging me and I was like,
Are you still on them?
No, I deleted it. Like, I know that I don't even want to talk to you. Like, I don't even want to respond to you. I don't even want to give you energy. And that's, like, not a good use of their time and my time. Mm-hmm. And so then I got off of them. But then I'm like...
And then what? And then what do you do? Yeah.
And then going out last night, this is coming out on a Wednesday, but going out last night, I just felt my age. Like, I notice all the, like, youngins. Like, and I'm like, that was us.
I know.
That was us 5 years ago. And I remember that so vividly. And now it's, like, 11, and I'm like, I want to go to bed. I want to go home. I want to
not on drugs. When you get older, you have to be on drugs to stay out that late.
Honestly. Because I'm like, I'm not going to take another shot. Because I'm also too old for that now. And what am I doing?
I know. Just nothing, but now silence for the next 20 minutes of the podcast. Just listen to us breathing. No, because it's so... I don't even know. I feel the same way. The apps are... I go back... Okay, slow down. When I think about that, I, again, try to block it out because I immediately want to flee. I automatically think it's here. I do think that. I know fleeing is not the... I fear that San Diego is, like, not the best place to be dating or finding somebody. I just don't...
You know where I think we need to go?
New York.
Oh.
That's where I want to go.
I'm like, I feel like we need to go to, like, Montana. Or Wyoming.
Where in the hell is there going to be a fucking Democrat in Wyoming or Montana?
I know, it's true. It's true.
It's like, if at that point...
I feel like the people there, though, are ready for relationships and to commit. Will we have the same viewpoints? No, because I think New York would be the same problem. It's just be like it'd be San Diego, like, beach vibe, but just uppity and, like,
I don't
clubbers.
think so. I think it'll be different. I think it's a little bit of... I don't know. I have never been, so I literally can't say. I literally am fighting this argument for... Who's to say? Who's to tell? All I know is that, like, it's so frustrating. I think just take away this location. I fear... My thing is, like, I don't have the job, and I know that that doesn't equate to not finding love. I know that life exists while love exists. Like, I know all of these things, but in my brain, I'm like... It's not going to come because I don't have life figured out, and I don't think I'm ever going to have life figured out there. Therefore, it's never going to come, and it's just like this constant, like, self-deprecating feeling. And also, I'm just like, yeah, where do I go? My poor little dehydrated baby. I also just, like, it's been so long since I've had
this hair off your chest.
a relationship that I'm like, I would love just to, like, dip my toe in. Like,
yeah.
It's not even right now about, like, finding a husband or life partner. It's just like, can I fit another person into my life? Like, I don't think I can. And I'm nervous about what that looks like and what my boundaries are. I can't even go out and have a drink without letting go of my boundaries. It's like, how am I gonna incorporate, like, an actual relationship? Like, there's so many layers, it feels like, and I just feel not ready. But then I get frustrated because then I'm like, these things can happen while also with someone. It may not be my partner, but it's still, like, experience, and it gets me frustrated. And then I'm like, I understand that in order to have this, like, dating life, I do need to be on the apps, but I'm like, I fucking refuse. I refuse. I'm not good. I'm not a good texter. I won't respond. I'll forget. I open messages and I respond in my mind, and then I click it out, and I never respond. I don't think, like, I make a profile for myself and I find cute pictures, and then I save it with all the prompts, and then I go back and I look at those photos and I'm like, I'm disgusting. Delete. So it's like, why am I doing this to myself if it doesn't make me feel good? But then I'm also like, where do we go? What do we do? I don't know. I know that you don't have the answers, but it's just fun to talk about.
I think I have come to a point where I was feeling for so long that I needed to, yeah, similar to you, like have it figured out and be like in a career that I'm happy with and be in a, I don't know, stable financial situation and be in a whatever, like all those things. And I do think like working towards those things is important, but I just don't think that you need to have all of that to also have like a partner or other things. And I kind of feel like when you, this is my assumption, and I'm not saying I'm ready to have children, but listening to people like our friend Christy just had her baby, and like other people in our lives are having children at this point. And I feel like you kind of just figure it out.
Yeah.
And it almost like forces you to make decisions that you're just like on like the fence about, and you're not ever pulling the trigger, and you're just kind of like, well, maybe, or like I'll figure that out later, or I have to decide. And it's kind of, to me, not that I want a kid, but to me, I'm like, maybe it's almost like this forced thing that you just figure your shit out because you have to, because now you have another person that's depending on you. Whereas right now, literally nothing, no one is depending on me, so I can change my mind every second of every day. I can do whatever I want whenever I want, and it's so fun, but it's also like debilitating at times.
Yeah. But it's also like back in the day, they didn't have any other option. Like I'm like so lucky and privileged to be able to like live the life that I live, pretty like bare minimum, and be by myself without the need to find another support system and start a family. But then it's also like, do I want this life? I don't know. And then it's like, then the time, oh my God.
Just thrown up.
But then that's when the timepiece comes in, because it's like, I don't know, like you only have so long until that option is out. And like, I don't know, I'm, yeah, that's tough. I also just came to a realization just now as you were talking of, this feels like a repercussion of our parents being divorced later in our lives, because I feel like we were both in relationships when that happened, and I feel like we both held on so tight to all of our relationships. And I think now that we're a little bit older and have a little bit more of like, we're able to see the world a little bit for what it is, and it's hard to see that and be independent and not have anybody and then go back into like that I don't know, it's just this like weird, I don't know.
Okay, what else is taking up your brain space?
Let me think.
Sorry, that was just full spiral.
No, because it's so true. And I think like so much of, you know how I was just talking about like the Amazon thing is like connected to this and it started from this. Like I think the dating piece is worked into that as well, because it's just, you think about life and what you want to do and things that are like, for me, it's, I like my life, but it also would be fun to go do, like to do these things with a person and have that like intimate relationship. So like, I definitely think about that. And a lot of the times like my deeper thoughts come from like, because I want that. Like I was just talking about like self-confidence and like starting therapy and just really trying to like figure some of this like shit out and have a better like inner dialogue. I think like I recently looked back at my goals for the year. Don't recommend doing that. Oh, no. But I do like think that the main thing that I did talk about, and like the main thing that is a goal that I have been, I think, really trying to like actively work on is like the whole like who gives a fuck, like stop caring about what people think. And then we talked about like the let them theory from like Mel Robbins. So I'm like, all of that kind of combined, I said at the very beginning of the year, just like let it go, like literally let it the fuck go and stop caring, because it is such a hindrance for me in like so many different ways. So I really feel like I'm trying to work on that, but I just think like I've reached the point of being able to do that like just by myself. And I also know that as much as I love this time of year that we're entering, it is also like one of the hardest times of year. So I don't want to have done everything and said all of that and had this like new year goal then to like fall into this like I don't know. I just like, it's like a cycle sometimes, and I like it sometimes, like for the time of year, but then I don't when it comes to like mental health.
For sure. I think you have been doing really good at that. Also, you've been really good about, I feel like, just like, not that you weren't taking care of yourself before, but I feel like you're like prioritize exercise or like doing something for yourself. I've noticed that, and you are just really good about taking care of yourself. I feel like
I'm really trying. Like, I'm really trying. It's just like the little things. I think I'm like in the mindset of like, well, if I can't do this, then I need to be doing the other things. If I refuse to leave my house today except for to go to work, or I refuse to go put myself out there for another job, if I refuse to give up my time to get a second job, or, you know, whatever, because I think that's what's taking up a lot of my brain too, then the least I can do is like take the dogs out for a long walk, or like go for a workout, utilize the things that we have here, go to the pool, read a fucking book, put on makeup, and like brush my hair before I go to my 4-hour shift. You know, it's like it's how I bully myself into doing it.
Well, I'm noticing and it's working. I think another thing that's taking up my real estate, I did say time is, and within time is exercise. I think that piece. I feel like I've been, for a long time, I needed to do like the most extreme option. I'm like, I have to be training for a marathon. I have to be training for some huge thing that is like, honestly, it's a cool accomplishment, but I also don't want to do that. Like, I literally don't want to.
Yeah.
And it can be fun. It was fun when we were like running together. Like, I would do that again if it was like a thing where multiple people were doing it and we're doing it together, then yes, I'm down. But I'm also like, why do I need to sign up for this thing by myself to push myself to some extreme that I don't like? I don't want to do it. So I feel like I'm trying to figure out, and just like yesterday when I went on a little hike, I was like, I do enjoy this. And I had signed up for like a workout class, and my alarm went off, and I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. So I turned off my alarm and went back to sleep, and then I went on a hike, and I felt great. And sure, maybe I didn't burn as many calories as I would have in the workout class or whatever, or like it wasn't a strenuous hike. It was like 3.5 miles. Whatever. It was great. I was like in nature and I was happy, and I'm trying to listen to my body and be like, how, like, if I do want to do something active and what feels exciting and fun to me, because I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be like, this is some chore, some other thing that I have to check off my list. Because then go to, how are my days being spent? Am I just doing things every day on a list that is some made up thing that I have in my brain? And then 5 years from now, I'm like, wow, I didn't enjoy the last 5 years of my life. You know?
Yeah, no, I do. I've been channeling that, and it's been so helpful of like just doing, as long as I do something. Like, there are some days where I'm like, I cannot step foot into a gym. Like, I just don't. Gives me so much anxiety, so I'm like, I'll just go for a run, or like, not beating myself up for well, I only did a hike, and a hike doesn't count as a workout. It's like these made up rules that I think, when I don't even know why. I mean, so many other reasons why all of these things, you know, the reasons why we do the things that we do. But I am just trying to be like, no, I did something, I got out, I moved my body, and that's what matters. Even if it's just like a walk with the dogs, like it's a long walk, and that's was maybe not like scheduled for the day, but it is like, it just makes me feel so much better, because then it's like useless to push myself to do a schedule. Like, for what? I don't get paid for that. I'm not some athlete. I'm not a stunt double. Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not out here, like, this isn't my job. Like, who am I doing this for if anybody but myself? And I don't want to do it right now, so I'm not going to. Like, why? I've been channeling that, so that's good that that's what you're trying to channel too.
Yeah, because I feel like it's like, yes, you can do hard things, and yes, sometimes it's good to do things you don't want to do, just like force yourself to do them. But I do think there's a fine line there of like, who are you doing this for, and for what, and like, where is the motivation from this coming from? Because there's a difference between being like, I haven't left the house today and I'm going to go for a walk because I love myself and I want to take care of myself and that will make me feel good, versus like I'm just going to keep beating myself up because I didn't run 10 miles today. It's like, for who?
Yeah.
Why? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, truly. Actually, you know how I said like I can't relate to the whole time thing because I think I might have lied, but I think like this kind of ties into like the job piece, but because like I'm really trying to romanticize my life and things that I do, and I just a lot of the time like I have used this metaphor in therapy before where I feel like my brain is split between two, where I have this like positive like I know what's good and right and you know what the actual like real more like positive outlook of things are, and it's very like light and bubbly, and then I have like the other side that's like dark and scary and like more, I say it's realistic but it's more, you know, like pessimistic, and it's like this constant battle, and I have it for everything. And like right now, like the big thing is this like finding purpose and like finding jobs, and I go online and I apply to these jobs and then they reach out and I literally like am not interested because I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, why am I about to leave this job for less money for that? Like, I just, there are so many things that are like blocking me, and it's a lot of like my mindset. It's a lot of like, I don't like to use the word trauma because it's not trauma, but it's like a lot of my past, like spending money for a degree that I don't use, like these things that are like nagging me in my head. And then the other side, kind of what I was talking about before of like, oh, well, if I'm not going to do this, like I need to bully myself into working out. So in that piece too, like I'm trying to romanticize, like, what am I going to cook this morning? Like, what am I going to read or listen to? Like, how am I going to like decorate my room, or should I paint today? Or like, I'm just trying to like do things like that because I have, and as you were talking about it, I'm like thinking, and it's like, I think my brain is like, I don't want to look back at my life and be like, I didn't do anything. Or like, okay, think about like when you are on Pinterest and you're like pinning like aesthetic and like what you want your like day life to look like, and it's these beautiful like, you know, sunset, the light is shining and they're in the nook and they're reading and da-da-da-da. It's like, I want that to be my life. So it's like, if I'm not going to be making the big bucks, at least I'm living this life. I don't know, maybe it's like maybe I'm, and then I get in my head too, because then I'm like, am I just using this as an excuse to be lazy and like not do anything? Like, am I really just using this as leverage of like, no, I'm romanticizing. It's not that I'm sleeping in. I'm dreaming. Whatever. Like, you know. Now that I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, you just really know what to say to get out of anything. But it's like, I don't know. I can't help. Like, that's just where I am, and it's like a constant battle. And then I like beat myself up about not doing anything. And I've told you before, like sometimes I hate days off. Like I hate my days off because I feel like, especially when it's during the week and everybody is like doing something and it's like this high energy, and I'm just like, do and I just like, it's so hard. And then it gets to be like 4:00 and I'm like scrambling to like paint and take the dogs out and cook food, and I'm like, like I can't. Anyway, I don't even know what that is on my brain, but that's what's there.
What do you think that you want to have your real estate be? Are there things that you would rather be thinking about?
I think just like letting it go, like taking it day by day. Like I really am truly trying to like channel those Pinterest perfect like pictures of just, wow, I'll say that 5 times fast.
Pictures, perfect pictures.
And like just accept that this is where I am. And I also am just like, it literally starts from like in here. Everything about my day and what happens to me starts with like in here and what I can control. Like I cannot control anything else. Mm-hmm. And I think like, even if I can't get myself to do whatever I've like laid out, like if I'm talking to myself nicely and I'm like hitting my, you know, I don't know, just
Sometimes I mean this in the most loving way. I feel like we're just like an echo chamber
Oh my God,
of our, like,
I
you know, like I just pulled myself out of this conversation and I was
just
like,
you know, that happens to me all the time too. And I'm like, wow, I just said the same thing.
not even that we said, like, you said the same thing, but just like, I think because we are in literally such similar, like, life phases right now, like we're struggling or navigating with very similar things at the same time. I think we can like feed off each other and then we just sit here like, okay.
Is that why you tried to add the positive? What do you want your real estate to look like?
And then I'm like, I don't know.
I'm like, what do you want your real estate to look like? No, I think I agree. It's also nice though, because I'm like, at least I'm not alone. I've said this before, and it's like, I also feel like your successes are my successes. So I'm like,
Same.
I want the best for both of us, but I'm also, it's nice to get a different perspective of like someone going through this like similar thing.
Yeah.
But I do think on a more positive note, like there are certain things, this is like maybe less deep, but there are like a few things that are just like getting me through the day. I think I'm really trying to like read more and even like listen to books. I'm in like my thriller, like mystery, like era. So I'm really just trying to channel that. And because then it's like, again, at least I'm reading, you know, very least of anything. I'm staying knowledgeable. Yeah. Embracing fall, like just, I don't know. I think this is truly like the most wonderful time of the year. I think it's just like, it's like small things, like the decorations that I was talking to you about. Like I want to decorate the house. I want to like just embrace the season a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of like been on my brain. And just take it day by day, like slow down and just stop beating myself up for little things. Like if this is where I'm going to be, decide to be here instead of spending all of my time in this moment, hating it, but then not doing anything about it. Like it's so exhausting. And it's exhausting for the people around me. And I hear myself like talking about how I wish I had more money or more this and like this. And then I'm just like, sit here and do nothing. It's like, what, bro, stop.
Yeah, I think I need a balance of both. I think I need to be more romanticizing my life and just like living in the moment and being content in the moment. And then I also, as you were talking, was thinking about like, okay, we were riding a fucking high at like last year. I feel like we had all of these things that we had planned and worked for. And I know I just said like, I don't need to be training for a marathon, blah, blah, blah. But like, I feel like what maybe I'm feeling a little bit of this like, what the fuck am I doing, is because I literally don't know that I have anything I'm like looking forward to.
Yeah.
And like even a few months ago when like your sisters were coming, your family was coming into town, it was like I feel like there was so much like excitement because that was coming and you were like had other things going on, yes, but like that is something you were looking forward to. And I'm like, what am I looking forward to? I feel like we're turning 30 next year. But you mentioning like the holidays, I'm like, okay, I was thinking next year. Like I'm like, there's nothing in this year to look forward to. But it's like, yes, there's the seasons and there's like the holidays and what am I excited about? And rather than being like, well, every Christmas is, you got to drive to both parents' house. And now that my siblings are older, like they're working at different times. Like Julia's going to be working on Christmas, so we're going to need to celebrate a different day. And it's like, it's different, but how can I make it like something that I'm excited about rather than like, this is a thing I need to like get through or like figure out how to make it bearable. Because it's not that like the people that I'm celebrating with aren't bearable, but you know, it's like, it's not the ideal, like, we're all singing Kumbaya and having like a great Christmas, you know? So I feel like you mentioning that is helpful because my mind was immediately going to like, well, what do I want to have next year that I can look forward to that will make me excited? And it's like, well, why can't I have things in the next month? In the next like, and now I'm going back on my word around decorating for the holidays because I'm like, well, maybe that would actually make me feel excited.
I think it would. And I think it's just like romantic and being like excited. And even you just talking about that now, I'm like, even just like the excitement of enjoying our space here. Like I haven't really explored, you know, I've been to that farmer's market once with you before. Like small things like that where it's just, you know, just make it a little nicer. You know? More and more things are coming to my brain. But yes, I think decoration would be lovely. But I also am in this like, I don't know, especially walking around Target with you, yes, whatever day that we did that, I am like, what am I waiting for? Like in terms of getting things, like obviously I don't want to spend a shit ton of money, but it's like my lifestyle in life isn't going to change overnight. Like I'm not all of a sudden going to be able to buy like the most expensive curtains and the most expensive rug. It's like people decorate their house and make it look nice and do all of these things because they like try different things and look at like, and we've said this before, but it's like something that I really just want to get better at of like, if I see something, get it and try it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like instead of like, oh, but something better might be coming along or it's like might not fit exactly. And then it's like, okay, well then when we find something else, then we'll get that. Like I've been like, I was at a friend's house recently and she just like had all of these like little knickknacks and like the way that this was set up, like it was a perfect mix match of like different chairs and this like outdoor like setup. And I was just like, where did you get like this? And I kind of like that style anyway. And she was like, we literally thrifted all of this and this one was new. Like it's just a collaboration of a lot of different things. And I feel like we've started there. Granted, it was a lot harder to do that in our old place because it was so much smaller than the one that we have now. But I think like, I don't know, like I just want, that's why I think the decorations have been calling. Cause I'm just like, it's temporary. But it's also just adds a little bit of like the homey vibe. Yeah. That's why I'm like, let's just do it.
No, I agree. I think it makes it a different space. It like me redoing my room, and I didn't even really redo it. I just bought curtains and it looks awesome. And now I'm like, I love my room, and it's so calm going in there, and I want to lay in there and hang out in there,
and it has like a vibe.
Yeah, and I feel like this space, like our living room area, I'm like, this, it's not that it's bad, but I'm just like, this is what it is.
Yeah, and it's so big, so it's hard because it's like, I think of this area, but then I'm trying to think of this area, how it ties to that, and then how it ties, and I'm like, oh my god, just, it's calm the fuck down. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We can put something there and there, and
here,
it can all be different, and it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. There's so much on my brain. I feel like that was kind of a dump, but I don't know. Do you have anything else?
This was helpful. I don't know that I have anything else as much as it's like, okay, sometimes I think I'm like, did I just say the same thing I've said the last 5 episodes where I'm like, I'm in the spin zone. But I do think that this conversation specifically has helped me to be like, how can I reframe? Because I don't think I'm going to change tomorrow and stop thinking about time and stop thinking about like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And
same.
what do I want? But like, how can I reframe it? And what can I make in my life more exciting and just enjoyable? Because like you said, things aren't going to change overnight, and things aren't going to change like in a year from now, probably. Like as much... Yes, they'll change, but not to the extreme of like, we're going to be married and have children and whatever, you know? Like, that's not what's going to be happening. But like, what can I do now, and how can I make it more enjoyable, and what can I look forward to, not in a year from now, but maybe next month?
Yeah.
That I'm like excited about, and then thinking about the next thing.
Yeah.
And not making it stressful. Because I found myself too, in talking about this, I was like, okay, we have the holidays, and then we have New Year's, and then we have, and I'm like, why am I thinking about all of them? Let's pick the next one and just get excited for it and make it fun.
I couldn't agree more. I love it.
Well, great. That's the real estate in our brain, and I like that framing.
Same, we cleaned up our block.
We cleaned it up, feeling better, and hopefully that is helpful for you guys too. One of our friends said recently, she's like, sometimes I can't relate to what you guys talk about, and I'm like, it's because you're in a different phase, okay?
I know.
You don't have to relate to everything. So hopefully someone out there relates.
Yeah.
And we're not just in our own echo chamber.
I don't mind it.
But we love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. You can find Polite as Fuck Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.